Here we have the new camera and the $15 or $14.50 tripod that it sits on. The tripod's a little Inca 3150 lightweight. The camera itself is a Canon Vixia HF R400. I'm quite pleased with that. It's got no hard disk in it. Everything records direct to chip, so I've saved some money on the hard disk. It's got an external microphone button just here. It's got everything that I want. That battery pack is massive. It'll record for about 2.5 hours. All the money in it, like it was a cheap camera, it's $199 on special, but all the money goes into the lens. With it's got a very good lens, very good zoom, and a very good chip in it, so I'm quite pleased with that. Okay, this is some test footage just to see if we can zoom in on the little aero-cloner. Let's have a look at how good this thing goes. We've got lots of roots down there. That's doing a better job. Put some on that one. Let's have a look at the other one. We've got nothing. There you go. They're all doing healthy, but well, they're growing, but there's no roots. The one on the left is a replica of the one that Brock Hughes is using. I'm trying it out. It's been magnificent. I'm getting roots shooting from those cuttings in a week, 8 days. The other one is a little cloner bucket that I had. I think that part of the problem is that I didn't paint the top of the round bucket. Anyhow, I'm going to do some experiments. I'll rebuild it while I do the cloning in Brock's design. Okay, I've finished the rebuild of the little aero-cloner. I've now given it a paint job, a really flash paint job to match the square cloner. So I've taken out the mist maker and replaced the aeration system with two about 2-inch diameter air stones, which is roughly equivalent to the 4-inch diameter air stone in the square bucket. And I've loaded it up with plants. I've replaced the old foam, which was from dishwasher sponge, with this automobile sponge. It's used for the packing around replacement headlights. And the difference with this sponge to the old sponge is this one stays dry. You can like one of the things that I noticed with the square bucket was this automobile sponge, although it's a nice wide cell and very soft on the plants and everything like that, it just does not get wet. Don't worry too much about these ones looking a bit droopy. They've just been transplanted. Anyhow, yeah, so we've now got the new sponge in this one. So I've replicated the round one to as near as I can to be identical to the square one. And we'll just now see whether it produces shoots in 7 or 8 days. If it does, then I can put the mist maker back into it and test whether the mist maker is more effective than the air stone or not. And I can also combine the mist maker with air stones in both buckets so that we can see whether some sort of combination is better. Anyhow, we'll come back to this in about 7 or 8 days. Okay, we've extended the NFT system. Now got 3 rails. Obviously this front rail's been in for a while. The centre rail is the new one, and those lettuces over in the back rail have been there for a while. We've got some net cups over there for perspective. Let's have a look at one of these lettuces to see what the root growth on it is like. Okay, this one's been in the channel for, well, it must be a 30-day lettuce by now, 28-30 days, something like that. So it's not bad root growth. They look a little bit brown, but essentially the lettuce looks fine. So I'm quite happy to put up with a little bit of off-coloured roots to produce a decent lettuce. This one's been in here for a little bit more than a week. That's not too bad for a week, nearly two. This one is exactly a week old. This is a new variety I put out. Yeah, that's well, it's growing okay. What about this one over the back? It went at the same time. Yeah, similar growth on the roots for a week for this one. Quite happy with that. It's yet another variety. I'm trying out several new varieties. Down the other end we've got some shallots growing, some Swiss chard. That's the chard. It's pretty hard to see on the viewfinder what I'm looking at. That one's a bit, this is the new plumbing at the end. We've got 3 90mm joined, and I go through a bit of a bend here to feed back into the usual aeration bucket. Also, as you can see, I'm stringing the tomatoes up at the moment. I've still got 4 or 5 that I haven't bothered to string up yet. They're not really tall enough, so like this one down in the front here, it's zoom in on it, it's as thick as like an elephant leg, that thing. It won't need stringing up for quite some time. The one behind it is a couple of, well, the one behind it isn't one, it's 2. A couple of cherry tomatoes. They don't need to be strung just yet. That tomato in the short round double bucket, that's probably my best performing tomato. So it looks like ox hearts are the ones that we like. I've got a couple of black crims and a couple of black Russians. They seem to have come in with a disease on them, some sort of a black mouldy thing. Pretty horrible. That's the tomato there. Where's the black mould? There it is. You can see that on the stem there. I don't know quite what it is, but it looks pretty horrible. Down here I've got some of my seedlings in a tray. They're not doing too bad. I mean, it's pak choy. There's quite a lot of pak choy and basil down there. That's what I'm going to put in the NFT system next. This is my propagation area. Basically it's a trolley, nice solid wheels down there. On top we've got pak choy over here. This is bok choy in here. These are the next batch of lettuces to go in. And over on this side we've got a little bit of basil. Down underneath we've got a whole tray of basil, which looks like it's doing better than the stuff on top. And we've got a few things in there which haven't sprouted yet. Looks like I better start watering that soon. To water this lot, I'm just using a hand mister. It's quite effective. The trolley's completely waterproof, it's all plastic, so it's really good for being able to move it into the sunlight, move it out of the sunlight into a protected area where the seeds can germinate. my little chili plant on the ground. It's producing plenty of chilies. None of them have gotten ripe yet, but like it's loaded down with fruit, there's plenty of it. Oh, that's cherry tomato over there. Yeah, there's a chili on the green one. Whoops. Another one. That's maximum zoom. That's not too bad. 53 times zoom from up here.